Hello and welcome to episode 3 of a Yarn Story podcast.
Yep.
Slash vlog.
Slash YouTube. I think some people call it YouTube.
Crap.
I'm doing a YouTube.
I'm doing a YouTube.
I think YouTube's turned into a noun.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, why not?
Or a verb. I meant a verb.
A verb, yeah. We'll come up with an actual name
Yeah.
for this at some point.
Yes.
Until then, welcome.
I was going to attempt a few, but then I thought, you know, I need to really do some serious
Yeah,
thinking.
I don't think that brainstorming live, I mean, it's not live, we can edit it, but I'm still not very good at that. So
Yeah,
it's best if we
Yeah.
try to do this in one go.
Yeah.
We've brought wine tonight.
Yes. We made that mistake last time of not bringing wine to review.
We did. We were both really tired last time, though.
We were.
It wouldn't have been as good. So, would you like to read about the wine this time?
So this is a rosé, as they say, from, oh, it's actually from Italy.
Oh.
Why does it say?
Oh,
It's the origin.
Oh.
The origin.
Okay.
So this rosé is from Italy, from Pavia, and the vintage is 2022. So the grape type info, we've got the origin of rosé is that the spiritual home of rosé is in Provence in southern France.
I did not know that.
I think that makes sense.
That does make sense.
We get a lot of we get a lot of rosé from the south of France, and it's quite nice and dry and crisp.
Oh. Is this one dry and crisp?
We'll find out. Yes, it is dry actually.
Okay.
So the tasting notes: a beautifully light, silken, almost peachy Pinot Grigio blush here from the Ke Bonita team. This is laced with stone fruit and pear drop aromas and flavors both on the nose and in the mouth. Its crisp acidity is perfectly balanced by a creamy fatness. I thought it said flatness. A creamy fatness on the palate, making for a pretty serious rosé that punches above its weight. That sounds quite exciting, actually.
That does sound really exciting.
Yeah.
I feel like my mouth watered while you're
I know.
reading that.
I love a creamy, like, white wine, so I think I'll like a creamy rosé.
Yeah. And I was just saying I'm going to switch up my good pair days so I get more white and rosé because I want to learn more
that's good.
about that.
Are you going to get more Prosecco?
Always. I mean, I always get a bottle of Prosecco. Yeah. I forgot to adjust my order this time, so I only got 3 bottles and paid for shipping.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
That's sad. Sad
Anyways.
times. Anyway. Oh, and it's vegan.
Oh, well, there you go.
There we go.
So, cheers.
Cheers.
In our gnome glasses.
Our Christmas gnome.
Yes. Ikea Gnome.
Ah, is it an Ikea gnome? A Swedish gnome?
Mm-hmm. Snorkeling gnome.
Is, they have a word in Sweden, right? That means gnome that's different, but related to, I think, what British people call gnomes.
You mean a gonk?
Yes.
Yes.
I've never heard of that thing until recently.
Yes, I only learned about this word at the Christmas market when we had the enamel pins and cards, and people kept saying, "Oh my god, I love your gonks," and I thought. I honestly thought it was a racial slur. I had never heard that word before, and I was like,
I like how the American goes to you. I don't know that word. It must be a racial slur.
Like, I don't know what that means. So I was Googling and like texting the team, like, has anyone ever heard this? And no one had, but we Googled, and yes, it's a term for a gnome.
Interesting.
I don't remember the entire history.
I feel
of
like
that
a
word,
gonk sounds like your nose or something.
Yeah. Yeah, like a big old noggin or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But yes, this is, I get the creaminess.
Yep. Do you get the fatness? Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah?
And whatever that that word really means. I think what it means is like it's full-bodied. And I would say it's full-bodied for a rosé. It is full-bodied
for a rosé, for sure. My problem with white and rosé normally is that I just feel like it's like water. I don't feel like it's sort of flavorful enough. Or it's just really acidic.
Yeah, it's hard to actually, I find that I didn't like white wine for a really long time. And I think that the main reason was that I found a lot of it really acidic. And I like kind of more creamier, kind of smoother wines, both in terms of reds and now whites and rosés. And it wasn't until my uncle Shout out to my uncle.
Hey, Uncle.
Yeah, Uncle Chuck.
He's not Uncle Chuck.
He is Uncle Chuck. Every like man in my mom's side of the family is Chuck.
Love
it. But Uncle Chuck gave me a white wine and he was like, well, you say you don't like white wines, try this.
Okay.
And I think it was maybe a Chenin Blanc or something. And that's when my life changed.
Okay. Well, I mean, in fairness to white wines, not white yarns. We're on wine now, not yarn. I grew up in Oregon, and we have really good white wine that no one knew about for a really long time. And my dad had that at the restaurant.
Oh, that's good.
So, like, my experience with white wine when I was younger, because my dad was always like, try it, like, even when I was a kid. And then I, like, was an adult and didn't have any money to buy nice wine. So, like, my white wine experience was just like, I don't like this.
Barefoot or whatever. Yeah.
Or $2 Chuck.
Yes.
From Trader Joe's.
Yeah. Back to the Chucks.
I wonder if that wine still exists.
It does.
Does it?
But now I think it's $4 Chuck.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So for those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, Trader Joe's is a store in America.
The best. It's like one of the best grocery stores.
It is. It's a really good grocery store. It's actually owned by the same people that own Aldi.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Fun fact. So German owned that?
Yes. Well, you know, like Aldi and Lidl too are like owned by two brothers.
Oh, is one called Aldi and one called Lidl?
I don't know the name that far, but yeah, that's who owns Trader Joe's, or did when it started. I don't have the accurate corporate history on me. But it's a great grocery store, and they had this wine called Charles Shaw, and it was $2. And it was very drinkable, a red and a white, and then it got nicknamed $2 Chuck.
And it's been around for quite a while, actually, $2 Chuck. I remember when my grandparents they were talking about, like, even in, maybe I'm getting this wrong, but I thought they were talking about when they were in, like, uni days, and they would get $2 Chuck in Boston. And it was the Charles Shaw.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it was definitely, I had it at uni, so that would have been, like, year 2000. Yeah. But I'm assuming your grandparents were.
Yeah, but if it was $2 in the 70s.
Yeah, that was very expensive.
It was very expensive. $2 Chuck was the good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, $2 Chuck was the good stuff in the year 2000.
It's actually not bad. Yeah.
It's really very drinkable.
Yeah.
Now it's $4 Chuck, apparently.
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's what it was, and when I was living in Arizona, it was $4 Chuck. Because that was the, like, cheapest bottle you could get from Trader Joe's.
Yes.
And I would get it, because I was a grad student.
Well, yeah, because you're students, and you were like, it is drinkable.
Yeah,
it doesn't give me the hangover that, the convenience store wine does.
Yep. Yep, that's exactly right.
There's our...
Yeah, we did not plan on talking about $2 Chuck today.
I don't know if you've noticed that, like, this is not a super planned YouTube.
We've got, like, you know, guidelines that we, you know,
we have some yarn around us that will be
plan-ish.
Like a half a plan. Although we did think we might come up with a little bit of, like, segmenting.
Yes.
At some point. We're very open to you telling us what segments you like. And then
definitely
we'll name them.
Yes, there are lots of ideas that we want to develop as this goes on, and so if you stay tuned and subscribe, then you'll see how the channel evolves and what we do with it.
Yes, we do. I mean, we do have big plans.
Yes, we do.
But we need followers.
Yes, we do need followers, and we need well,
subscribe.
Exactly too. We will also want to know what people want to see and hear about. So.
Yeah, because I mean, we can just talk to ourselves off camera.
Yeah.
Without the very bright light blinding us.
Yeah. You do get used to it.
You do get used to it, yes. It's a really bright light over there so that we are well lit.
Yes. It is amazing.
It does feel like my skin is glowing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, enough about that, I guess. I like the wine.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm gonna need another refill soon.
Yeah, I mean, we got a bottle. It's cool. How should we talk about what we're wearing?
Yes.
The knit we're on today.
Yes, we do. So this was a jumper I knit. Gosh, well, I think I started it in January, right? No, February. It was February. It was a February Cal. It's the Side by Side by Susanne Sommer. and I think, what is her design name?
Sosu Knits.
Sosu Knits, yes. And she was running a cowl with I Knit 7 on this side-by-side sweater, which was amazing. And we had so many people join that.
So many people.
Yeah.
And it was really cool.
This sweater is like a perfect one for a cowl because it's, so first of all, it's knit sideways.
Which is Suzanne's like signature thing, is a sideways knit sweater.
And I did the crop version of it.
I have to go a little closer for the detail.
So you can see this beautiful V-stitch. It's a traveling stitch that goes throughout. And if you've heard anything from me before, I hate cabling. I love the look of it. I'm like obsessed with the look of it, in fact, but I am the most impatient knitter, and so if something slows me down even a little bit, I'm like, ugh. But I persevered with this, and it was like an actual like real challenge for me. Like it was like a good challenge. And she has amazing tutorials on her YouTube for it. Like she guides you step by step and gives such good visual explanations to what the next step is, because you kind of read it in the pattern and you're a little bit like, I'm not sure how I visualize that, like, and then you go and watch the video and she made some like mini ones of it. Yeah, exactly.
She did the most amazing work for that cowl last year, like really
and it's extremely customizable. It's probably one of the sweaters that I've seen that like you can make it your own in so many different ways. So I think there's 3 different necklines, 4 different lengths, and a few color kind of recommendations, but lots of people did lots of different things. Some people used 1 color, some people used 2, so 1 main and a contrasting, which is what I did. I think a few others used like 5 colors, like, you know, they pulled from like maybe their stash and kind of
which was quite tricky because of how it was constructed.
Definitely.
And it's you did the folded hem.
Yes, I did the folded hem.
Also one of the options.
I did the folded hem, and and it was a really cool experience. It took me ages to do because I was getting frustrated. I kept messing up. And then I had to give it to Anna a few times and be like, take this out because I can't face it.
That's what knitting friends are for. I remember we were all at my house and you were just like, I can't. And Anna was like, give it to me. I will unravel it for you.
And she was so excited by it. And then it was that was a real joint effort, because then she gave it to Aleks to fix my stitches. So they were all facing the right way. Which, my god, those are the most tedious things, and I have no patience for that.
We had quite a bit of wine. At that point.
And both of them did an amazing job.
It was quite funny.
A nice little support group there.
But you need those knitty friends, because sometimes it just is too hard to like rip out your work yourself. And when you have your friends help you. Or like fix stitches when you've dropped or you've noticed like 7 rows back that you have a purl where you should have had a knit or something like that. And you're like,
exactly. Because they're like little tricks that you can, like, you know, say you realize that you're like 1 stitch short, like, and if the pattern looks fine, I'll just like add 1 in. And like if that works, that works. Like there's no reason not to do that. Like if it maybe like really messes up the pattern, or like it's super noticeable, then I think it is worth pulling back. And like giving yourself the like permission and space to do that without beating yourself up.
One of my whips we'll talk about that a little bit.
I know what you're talking about.
But do you want to tell us exactly how this was constructed? Because it's side to side. Which is also why the length thing as an option is important, because you are knitting it this way, which means you need to know your length right at the beginning.
So you actually start in the middle here. And you knit it in like almost panels, so you start it, so you're like holding it obviously that way, but you knit down this way, and then you start increasing for the collar on one side while keeping this kind of rib. And actually you're starting so in the middle and also above. If you can see, it's hard with the variegation, but you can see that the ribbing here is connected to whatever this is. the middle bit, the body bit, that's the word I was looking for. It's been a long day. And so you are actually only knitting this bit, and then you increase for the collar, and then once you increase the collar, then you're also knitting across there. So there's like 3 different pieces here, and she has them, like that's what's quite good about her pattern is like she has them as like, this is a section, this is the next section, this is the next section. And so you can really kind of play around with it a little bit in terms of like the colors, because if you finish one section then you can start another one, but it's really hard to visualize that. So I think it was her who also said like you could like make a sketch of it and color in your colors. So it could give you a more visual to like balance them. So that's a good option. But I got this beautiful, amazing.
It's so pretty in person. I don't think it's reading as well on camera.
It is like one of my favorite yarns to knit with, to be honest. And that's why I wanted to knit with it, because I had never used it before, and I've been like obsessed with this color since we got it in the shop last year, which should be coming back.
Not in the DK.
Not in the DK.
We'll get some in. We're just getting sock for the moment.
That's all right. One step at a time.
One step at a time.
But her colors are amazing.
They
so
are.
It's the yarn that I'm using is Uschitita Super Soft DK.
Yeah.
And I forget the names of the colors that I was using. I think this one's called Chartreuse, actually.
No. I think this one's like a cloud.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think the blue is, and the greeny
is it Cloud Atlas?
Cloud Atlas, that's what it is.
Yeah. And then the green one,
I want to say Avenue something, but I think that's the dark blue.
Yeah.
I know I've ordered that color
did you?
in a sock for sure.
Oh, did you? Oh, cool. Ooh, I'm gonna want that too now.
Sorry.
But they're such like vibrant, beautiful.
Yeah, I'm excited to have
colors.
her yarn back on the shelves. We haven't had it in
I think that's the thing, like, sometimes with hand-dyed yarn, and like this is, I feel like this could sound like a criticism, but it's not a criticism. Like, a lot of them, I think, use, like, there's so many different techniques that you can use, right? And so some of them you can be like, okay, those guys use this technique, these people use that technique. But I feel like there's something really different about her yarn. And I'm not really, like, I can't put my finger on it. But the colors are really vibrant, really different. She has a bit of speckled. I think maybe it's her variegation is a little bit different.
Yeah, she has like sort of a variegated plus speckle thing going on in some of her colorways. I also think she pairs really unusual colors together. Like, it's like you have these golden brown bits in with a blue. Which I don't think you see very much. And even that
even that green, like, look at all these different kind of greens in it. And they're just like so shiny.
Yes, very shiny. Very true. Her yarn's consistent as well. Like, every time we get a batch in, it looks how we expect it to look. And that's really nice.
I mean, I think that's the thing. Like, this is all hand dyed, and you can see like the different colors. Like, this one's a slightly different blue than this one, but they really like really work together as a whole, which is what you want from like a hand dyed yarn.
Absolutely. Like, that's part of it, is like
the uniqueness of it is like every skein is a little bit different and unique.
But you have to love that about hand dyed. That's for sure. I'm wearing a slightly less interesting piece of knitwear.
No, it's beautiful.
Yes, this is the Inclinations Cowl by Andrea Mowry. It's quite tall, actually.
Actually, I'm gonna grab my shift so we can compare the sizes.
Oh yes, good call. So it's the same shape as the shift, but it is quite a bit bigger, and it's like a half fisherman's rib, which I don't know if you're gonna be able to, I don't know if that's gonna read it all. So you are striping 2 colors and then basically knitting into the row below, and it's 2 colors of Spincycle. It's knit flat as well, and then like seamed at the back. It's actually quite warm. So there's a seam up the back, which is the same as the shift, but yeah, they're quite a different size. Mine's just off camera even.
Oh yeah, it is. Wow, they're way different. Now that I see them on camera, I'm like, what's that?
Because I have 2 shifts as well.
But that makes sense given the yarn quantities.
Yeah, because this is 4 skeins and the shift is 3.
3, but you don't even use all of it.
No, you don't use all for this, but you do use, you need those second skeins, like you're not making it in one. And I use the dyed in the wool colors, Valley Girl and Light Years, which are the colors that Andrea recommends in the pattern. I knit this last summer, and I thought it was going to be a quick knit, just a little cowl, but for some reason this did not move off the needles and took me way longer than it should have. I just somehow didn't have the mojo.
Yeah.
And I finished it. I was like, I'm never doing that pattern again. Now I'm like, I wear it so much I want to make another one.
No. I also remember at the time you were having like a crisis of, do I like it? Do I not like it? Not the pattern, but the colors even, right?
Yeah.
And you kept being like, I need to just trust the Spincycle, trust the Spincycle.
Yes, I very much chant this to myself every time I use Spincycle. Like, I love their yarn, and I can visualize what they look like in the skein. I've gotten really good at that. I compare them, that's great. But every time I start knitting with them, like the beginning bit, I'm like, right, am I sure? Is that? And you have to trust that, like, when the whole skein sort of comes to fruition in your project, that it will look amazing, that you were right when you picked the skeins. Because, yeah, there was this little bit at the beginning, this bit. Basically, that's where I started. Is it gonna focus? Yeah. And I just thought it was so yellow, and it was just that bit, and I was like,
I don't want that for the rest.
No, that's what I want.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad I persevered. I really wear this.
Yeah, you do.
All the time.
It's awesome.
I am warm though. So
every time you wear it, I want one.
Yeah, every time I wear it too, I get like random compliments from like the coffee shop people and whatnot as well. So
yeah,
it is a hit.
Yeah. But that is really true about the Spincycle, and I think I came across this a lot in the cowl that I was doing on the shift again.
Oh yeah.
Is that a lot of people were second guessing, like, did I make the right choice? Is this gonna work out?
Yep.
Like, how, you know, and getting a bit stressed out by like the color changes and like trying to micromanage almost like the way that the colors worked. And I think like all of us want to do that because we want it to be like so much effort's going into it, like the yarn is beautiful, we want to make the most of it. So it makes sense like why all of us have those feelings, but as like everybody said, you really just have to like trust the process.
Trust the process, trust the yarn.
Yeah.
It's much how I feel about your first sock.
Yes, yes. Oh god, socks are like so stressful, I find. I'm knitting some right now, so for Sam too, and it's like one of these things where it's like it's not my foot, so I have to be like, try it on, try it on, try it on. Like, have I done it enough? And he's like, why do you need me to keep trying this on? I'm like, because it needs to be perfect.
Well, that's the thing with socks. Like, I don't like knitting. I like knitting socks for other people because I think they make great gifts, but I get really nervous about the sock fitting because I feel like a hand knit sock needs to fit perfectly.
Yeah.
It's not like a store-bought sock that's like between the sizes of 8 and 12.
Yeah, yeah.
This will fit you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if the toe's a little bit floppy.
Yeah. Yeah. Although at the same time, like, one of my favorite pairs of hand knit sock were ones that my mom made, and when I got them, I was like, oh, they're a little bit too big. But actually, they're perfect. Like, now that I wear them, I wear those like all the time. Like, have like worn out the heels, had to darn them, like, and like I don't want them to go like anywhere because I think they're like perfect, whereas the ones I've made for myself I always feel like are a little bit too tight.
Okay, interesting.
So
yeah, I went on a whole mission to like make myself the perfect sock a couple years ago. I like took some classes, I like got some books. I didn't get very far. But especially with like toe shaping, because
would you knit them cuff down?
Yeah, I don't like toe-up socks.
I like toe-up.
No. I think I have a fit problem with toe-up socks. Okay. That actually leads us very well into our next segment.
Exactly.
Accidentally. The one time, or the 2 times I've done toe-up socks, they haven't fit very well. Like, I don't gauge the space you need between the heel and the thing as well as I do from, like...
that way.
That way.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a little book review, which was a request actually from an audience member.
Yeah. So, and we thought it was a really good idea.
Yes, because neither of us have actually had a very good chance.
No, I haven't even opened it.
Yeah. So we're like, this is kind of a blind reaction.
Yes, live.
So 52 Weeks of Socks, Volume 2. Oh, that's all glary off of our light. Is just been released. Has just been released by Laine Publishing.
Yeah.
Is the follow-up to 52 Weeks of Socks.
Yeah.
This book, which they finally reprinted in hardback like
Yeah,
last
they did.
autumn. It was out of print for like 18 months.
Did they
and then
print it differently?
They
though?
printed it differently.
Okay, I was about to
Yeah.
say, I thought it was this woven one, yeah.
It was originally.
Okay. Yeah.
It is available in paperback from, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I bought it in
actual-
paperback, and then literally 2 weeks later they released it again in hardback, and I was like,
You were not happy.
no, but I did return the paperback, and then I bought it from here in hardback.
It is a lovely book. So this is the follow-up. They've done a whole 52 weeks series. So there's the 52 weeks of socks, and then that was followed up by 52 weeks of shawls, and then there's the 52 easy knits.
Yep, which is excellent.
That is an
Such
excellent
a good
book.
gift too.
Yeah.
Especially like for anybody who's like just starting off knitting.
Yeah.
It's like amazing. They can live like off of all those patterns for
For a very long time.
a very long time
Yeah.
because you can't knit
Yep.
a sweater or an item a week. And maybe there is somebody who can do that, but it's not me.
No. I know Aleks knows someone who did all 52 socks out of the first book.
Really?
And
In a
is-
year?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And is doing, I think she's going to do the same with this.
Wow.
I am definitely not that person.
No.
I didn't knit any of them out of the first
Yeah,
one.
I mean, I have it now, and I tried to do one of them for Sam,
Okay.
and then Sam's got the weirdest feet in the world. So then I was like, okay, clearly I cannot knit Sam socks that don't have a lot of stretch knit, and it was that traveling stitch that went around the collar.
Oh, yes.
Like the cuff.
Yeah.
And so it made it tighter, and Aleks had a really good top tip for that, was to go up a needle size.
Yeah.
So that it has that stretch built into it. So I ripped it all out. I was going to attempt it again, but then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make Andrea Mowry's DRK everyday socks for him. Because those have
That
loads
makes
of
sense.
stretch.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think Amanda has a pattern
Yes.
in the first book, which I know Davina made. Actually, there's a whole blog on that pattern. It's really nice, like very complicated lace pattern. I think the thing is too, like I am such a vanilla sock knitter because that's what I like to wear in my shoes because I'm a product knitter.
Yeah. But at the same time, socks are a really good project if you want to like try out a new technique, like try out a
absolutely.
new stitch pattern, or
Absolutely.
like say you haven't cabled before, like try it on that smaller, you know, item
Yes.
so that it feels more manageable. Because if you have to knit like an entire cabled sweater, you might be like, whoa, that's never gonna happen.
I definitely knit quite a few socks in my early sort of knitting days because I learned loads.
Yeah.
And there's always a sock cowl somewhere on
Yes.
Ravelry, which is nice, or like some designers doing a sock cowl, so there's always somewhere to like participate and learn.
Yeah.
But we digress. We were going to do a little review slash a reaction to. I think that's what the YouTubers call it.
Yes, a reaction video. So what do we think about the feel, the experience?
I do
I'm
like
you're not looking at me. Correcting the fuck.
that's because I was experiencing it myself. I like the textured, what is this, like fabric? I know this has a proper name.
I thought it was called woven fabric.
Well, yeah, but it's like a woven cover.
Woven cover?
I think there's like a publishing word.
Yeah,
for-
there might be. Athena would know.
Athena would know, Davina would know. I do like that.
Yeah.
I gotta say I'm not 100% on the font.
Yeah, I am too. Like, I get that it looks like very modern, and I think it looks really good on the 52 Weeks of Easy Knits.
Yes.
But I really liked their kind of like cottage look.
Yeah.
With their previous, like with the other one.
It jars a little bit with the sort of,
Woven.
with the woven and this like very bold modern
Yeah.
font.
Combining two styles.
Yes.
Which is a thing, I guess, but
yeah. I mean, does it detract from the book?
No, it's still a beautiful book to like feel and experience. Will look great on a coffee table.
Yeah.
The images, as usual, are
Yeah, their photography is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I have flipped through it. You haven't even flipped through it.
I haven't, but I've seen on Instagram some
Yeah.
pictures. So.
The pictures are amazing.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like, look at that. It's beautiful.
I just saw this one. Huh.
Just beautiful, beautiful images.
I've just found a yoga sock. I didn't know
Ooh,
there
that's
was
cool.
one of those. Look at that. There's a
That's
yoga
different.
sock.
That's
That
something
is-
not in the first one.
No, I don't think there is a yoga sock in the first one. What I also like about this is there are 52 different styles. There is something for every type of sock knitter in here. Like there's
That's good.
slippers and stuff. I like those as well. When I flipped through the other day, maybe you should show people.
Yeah. I don't know what this is called though.
Oh, is it
because
at the
it's
front?
just at the front. But we'll find it. So it's got this really cool color work. That's a nice like vanilla sock.
That is a vanilla sock.
Has cool color work.
This one has been everywhere, and it's one of my favorite sock designers. It's Sommer, and it is stunning. I don't know if I'm gonna have the patience to pick the colors to make that, but it's pinwheel
that
socks.
Is gross. That is good.
They are great. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's stuff in here that's not for me. Like, I am not gonna make a beaded ruffled sock. That is just not in my like that's wheelhouse. Or my.
I mean, it's cool.
It is very cool.
And is the beads? The beads are only on the.
Oh, it's on the cuff.
Okay. Yeah. It's different.
Rocales, it's called. It's got mohair. It's got a ruffle. I mean, if you want to learn some techniques, like that's cool. A great pattern.
I really love these slippers actually. So this is Ophidi by Elena Solier Jansa. And they're these like really cool slippers. And it looks like uses relatively kind of thick yarn. That's something I could get on board. On board with.
This one feels like a really classic cabled sock called Berries and Bird Tracks by Yuka Takahashi. That feels like a really classic sock, which I like. But the one on the next page, actually, I really like. It's by Rosa Pomar.
Ooh. Oh yes, I've seen this one on Instagram.
Montemuro.
Yes.
I think that's very up my alley.
Yeah.
I like that. That'd be nice and warm too with the color work.
And then we're also like quite biased about one of them. And
oh yes, yes, very biased.
Let's see if we can find it.
Yeah, we need to find it.
Well, you do have it next to you.
I do, but we should. You find it in the book. I will.
Yes, there we go.
I have the actual sample from the book, like the one that's photographed.
Because you're special.
Because we special.
All right, there we go. So
yeah, this guy.
So this is Haebernik or Haebernik.
I don't know how you pronounce it. There's the sock. It is by Aleks Byrd. It is using this. Yeah, hide your face. Hiding our faces. Please focus, camera. Okay, there's fringe.
Yes.
There's this lovely Estonian fringe technique up at the top. So these are toe up.
Yes.
Yeah, these are toe up because that is the only way you can get the fringe to work. So I'm unlikely to knit these.
I'll knit them. I'm excited to knit them.
So you can knit them, and then they've got the braids there.
Yeah. The Kino Vitz braid.
Yes, which I am loving on one of my whips. I'm all into the braids. But yeah, these are really cute. And we're going to put some kits together for them that include the fringe tool. Aleks has made some fringe tools which make making the fringe quite a bit easier because I think the trick on that is to get it even. So she made tools.
Yes, and they're actually one of the things I like because she says like, oh, if you don't have the tool, you can like use a pencil or something. But actually, the tool is really good because it's flat. Yeah, and so it really helps you get that like, good tension. Yeah. Around it, and like the fringe is gonna lie like flat. Yep. So you want that. I think. Yeah. Well, I mean, you might want it like flipping up. This is sort of, for me, like I would wear the embellishment of this, that is because it's up on the cuff, like the part in my shoe is plain. Yep. But you're gonna have to really convince me to do toe up. They're good. They're really good. You can make them. And I wonder how Aleks has you starch the toe. That's a good question. You can have a little like that. What we're gonna do... Judy's magic casting. Judy's magic casting. That is a bit of magic. That is quite fun when you're doing a toe-up sock, not gonna lie. Yeah, so we are gonna put some kits together for this. Actually, if you're watching this on Monday, they might already be up already. Yeah. They're not up right now on filming day, but yeah, they should be up on Monday. And basically what you'll be able to do is make 3 socks out of a kit. Oh, that's awesome. Like, changing the colors around. So it's gonna be 3 skeins of yarn because it's 3 colors, but you can make 3 socks. Yeah, that's amazing. And there's actually, we went through and there's so many socks in the book where you need like a little bit of a color. So you could also do like 3 different socks in the book. Definitely. With 3 skeins, but like take your pick on which ones, which is quite nice. I mean, this is also a nice kind of stash buster because I think you only need like 10 grams. Yeah, definitely. The bit up there. Yeah, and like that's the thing, like a lot of sock yarn, like depends on how long you make them, and like you want to buy a skein of sock yarn so that you can make them whatever length you want.
Yeah.
Right? But in some socks I have, I've made them a little bit shorter than I would other ones, and so I have like just a few grams of yarn just hanging around. So that would be a really good one to use.
I think it's about 70 grams for an average women's sock, like vanilla sock, is what they say. So, I mean, even when I've made really big socks for my dad, I never used a full 100 grams.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing though, like you need, like people do have big feet, like, and like you want to be able to make them
big
socks.
Feet.
Yeah.
I've got I mean, they're not as big as they could be for my size, which I lucked out on because I fit into normal shoes. I don't fit into normal anything else, but shoes I can buy off the rack. So what do you think overall?
I really like the designs. I think some of them are not for me, but like there's so many in here that you can really play around and like you'll have enough to choose from. I actually, like, in flicking through it, like I really like this one by Lori Wagner. That's really pretty. Yeah. It's like a nice kind of traditional lacy kind of pattern, but the shaping in that looks beautiful. So that would be one I'd want to try. I mean, I think that the thing is I have now the original book, and I haven't knit a single one from that. Yeah. So I think I need to knit something from that. But at the same time, I want to knit Aleks' socks, so yeah, I'll probably have to buy it. You know, and that Rosa Power one.
The Rosa Power one, I'm very into. Yeah. I think so. The book is, I want to say 34 pounds.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah. So you need to want to knit, I think it's 5 pairs of the 52 to make it worthwhile financially.
Because you could buy those
because
off
you
of
buy
Ravelry,
those off
right?
Yeah, if you bought the individual patterns.
Yeah.
So, and if you're like a person who knits socks for friends,
that's interesting.
That one is interesting. Then it's nice, like you've got a whole bunch of things for them.
Yeah,
to pick
exactly.
From, which I think is good. I mean, do we need 104 sock patterns? I don't know. I think yes. Overall,
I mean, some people have what they say. Your like max limit of like being able to connect with people is like around 106, I think.
Oh, is that it?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Like, in terms of like an actual connection rather than like, oh, they're just an acquaintance that I see every now and then. Okay. But it doesn't mean like, you know, best friend either. Okay. It's like somebody that you see, and like that's actually quite a small number. Yeah. Considering like that would be family or you know friends that you've grown up with that you keep in touch with, and you know.
Am I one of your 106?
No, Carmen. Definitely not. It's like, am I in your top 8?
Oh, that's a throwback. I don't even know if everyone's gonna get that. Yeah. Why am I not in your top 8 anymore?
I've been demoted in the top 8. I'm no longer your number 1.
I'm so glad that went away.
Yeah. It was MySpace, if you're wondering.
The very early days of social media.
Yeah, I was all over
before that. Facebook was open to non-students.
Yep.
That's where everybody else hung out.
Yep. I mean, I was 14 on MySpace, so yeah.
I had just moved to Germany, and one of my friends was like, "Oh, you should get onto MySpace because you can like meet people and you can show, like, you can upload photos and like show us back home." And I was like, "Oh, that's such a great idea!" So I used to be one of those people who, like, bombed it with photos of my new adventures. Definitely.
And they had like forums there too. Remember that? Those like chats that you could. They weren't even chats. They were like threads. They were like kind of like what we have on Ravelry. Yeah. And so you could like join a public thread, or you could join a friends only thread and like link up with people that way. I met my best friend in middle school on MySpace.
Nice.
She wasn't in my school. I also thought maybe she was a predator, but until I actually met her in person.
No, I met up with some people as well too that first year I was in Germany, just because I didn't know anybody,
Yeah.
you know, and I wasn't working
Yeah.
as such, not in like an office. So I was a nanny for, or sorry, an au pair. The Norland nannies get really upset when you use the word nanny. I had one in the shop once. And
But isn't like au pair the posh? Like, ooh, I'm fancy. Maybe not in this country.
I don't know. I just had an earful from a Norland nanny that came in once, and I was like, "Oh, I was a nanny for a year," and she was like, "Yeah." Anyways, I did not realize that was a
trademark.
A trademark term.
Yes.
Cool. So now I say au pair.
Yeah. But anyway, tangent aside, do we need 104 socks? Well, maybe if we want to knit one for our inner circle.
Yes.
One for each.
One for each. And then 2 people don't make it into the sock knitting club.
Nope.
You're gonna have people contacting you like, am I in your
top 104?
104?
Yeah, 104?
Yeah.
Do I get a sock? Take me ages to do. I'm only gonna be knitting socks for the rest of my life.
Some people are really fast sock knitters.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know people who can bust out a sock in like an evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a vanilla sock.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a friend, Rika. She seems to be able to knit socks like crazy.
Does knit socks like crazy. Socks and mittens. And also when she like puts her mind to a project, like it's like that's it.
Nobody can
done. There was the year she made the advent calendar mittens.
Oh, yeah.
And she was staying with me.
Yeah.
And that was intense. She got it done though. She got it done for Christmas. 24 mittens.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Nope. It was
it's anybody you put your money on.
Yeah. Definitely her.
Yep.
Alright, so that was our review
Yep.
of 52 Weeks of Socks, Volume 2.
I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah. I need some more wine.
Me too.
Some more wine? Okay. Let's have some more wine. Because it is very drinkable.
It is. Oh, come on.
Oh, sorry. There we go.
There we go.
Ken wants to look like Lushes on camera here.
I mean, it's not even full.
A water glass.
Yeah.
I think I need to get us like a couple wine glasses for the shop so that we're not.
I don't know. I think we'll miss the gnomes when they're gone.
Maybe. We could call it like Wine O'Clock. With a yarn story.
Yes.
Les Garçons calls it Happy Hour.
Yes. That's
which I was a bit jealous of. I was like, that's
a
good name.
Yeah, I'd like to call it Happy Hour.
Yeah.
We could do something with pairings, maybe.
Maybe. I see where you're going. I see where you're going. Right. Should we do whips first or new yarn in the shop?
Let's do whips, I think.
Okay.
Yeah?
Do you just have the one?
Yeah.
I have 3.
It's over there.
Okay. I'll go first then. So, I thought I might have an FO for today, but it just didn't happen. I am very close on my Kangas.
Ooh, I like that one.
My Kangas.
That Haydn Hammer?
Oh, yes.
Gorgeous.
So I couldn't show this one off for a really long time.
I remember.
Because it was like this prototype that I basically found in New's like back room when I was visiting her studio one day, and I was like, what is that? And she was like,
and is it coming home with me?
Yeah. And she's like, oh, it's like leftover from this thing. And I was like, can I have it? And she said yes. And that was like 2 years ago, I think.
But now.
And then everybody has been like, how do I get that one? And I'm like, I don't know. So I don't show it off that much. But now she made some more of these, and I think she might do them again because this was so popular.
Yeah, that's such a gorgeous color.
It's such a good combo. It's like a lavender with neon straps, and I love it. It just makes me happy. So in this, I have my Kangas shawl by Aleks Byrd. So I am past the halfway point. Yeah. So I'm very much past the halfway point, and you decrease faster than you increased. So this, I am like motoring.
It's asymmetrical, right?
Yeah. I'm motoring through this bit, and I should definitely
That's such a good project. I want to do that now.
You know what? I definitely want to make another one, and I want to do the color block version.
I think I want to do the color block version too.
I feel like this is one of those projects I could just always have one on the go because you can pick it up. And now that I get how to do the braids,
are they double knit?
It is double knit, yeah. So it's quite big. Yeah. And I really need a new shawl. I've made cowls lately, but like not.
Yarn is amazing.
Yeah. So I'm using Dyed by Dell's BFL Twist DK in Abador's Waters and Vincent's Highland Coup for the contrast.
I like that.
So I think it's going to be really wearable when it's done.
I need to do one, I think, in maybe some of the new colors.
Yeah. Well, Vincent just finished his in the 4 new colors. He did a color block one.
Did he?
He was wearing it on his last podcast episode. And it's really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
I bet it is.
It's very nice.
Yeah. I mean, those colors are awesome.
Yeah. I was thinking about stash diving because for a while, I stopped buying single skeins of sock yarn when I went to events because I was like, I'm not going to knit so many socks. So then I bought single skeins of DK for a while because I was like, I can make hats and I really like making hats. But I haven't done that either. So I have a lot of single skeins of DK. So I could probably, I could try to.
It's 300 grams?
500. Well, it's 4 skeins of the main color, 400 grams, and then
it is a big shawl then.
It's a big shawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes. So
yeah, that's actually a good point of the stash diving.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing color block.
Yeah.
Because I have a few single skeins of DK as well. Oh, you're giving me another project to do. I'm trying to be good about sticking to my plan of projects, but that's already what I'm going to do. So
it's definitely a byproduct of working here.
And that you can't knit as fast as patterns come out, and you buy yarn for something and then all of a sudden the new thing comes out and you're like, oh my god, I want to do that now.
And we totally influence each other here in the shop.
Yes, definitely.
Just our team chat sometimes. I'm like, oh god, guys, come on.
I know. Yeah.
I can't add yet another pattern to my queue for my needles right now.
And then also too, I think we're lucky in that we get to see so many finished products. Yeah. And then as soon as we see them, we're like, oh my god, I have to do that because I want that, and it's yours, and I can't take it.
Yes. I mean, you guys are lucky that I'm not your size. I'd steal more of your sweaters. I definitely try to steal most of Anna's hats because she has a good collection, and the shawls, and we have a good selection of samples that we do. We should do a little sample fashion show one of these episodes. Yeah, tell really good. That. Yeah. Do you want to get yours?
Oh yeah.
Or do you want me to show another one of mine?
Yeah, I'll grab mine.
Step off camera for a minute.
Oh. Just walked into the wall. There we go. I brought this.
I think you can also show how big a Haydn Hammer bag is, because that project is massive.
It is. Look at it. It's like the size of my body. And I'm not really petite, by the way.
No, Kayla's quite tall, really.
Which I have to remind people of because my family is all giants. But they're all Carmens, basically.
If you've never seen us in person or staying next to each other, I am 6'1".
Yeah, and I'm 5'6".
Yeah. So.
Anyway, I've now finished the sleeves.
Yay!
Actually, it's probably kind of hard to see.
Sleeve over here.
And sleeve. Yep. And I am on so there's a ribbed kind of collar that goes around it.
Have you picked it all up now?
Yep, it's all picked up, and I think I've done the terrible thing that you're not supposed to do, so nobody judge me, but I'm in the middle of a row.
It happens. When there are rows that long.
Yeah, exactly. It was I think quarter to midnight last night, and I was like, I need to go to bed. So I've got this, I think it's supposed to be, it's 3 inches.
Oh, okay. That's
so it's quite thick, but it's supposed to, balance.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah, so the rib at the bottom I think is 3.5 or 4 inches.
That's a good 4-inch rib.
Yeah, that's about 4 inches. So needs to balance, so it's 3. I think.
She was picking up these stitches at knit night on Tuesday.
It took me. I was like, also too, back to my impatience of knitting. I was like, do I do it the way that I know will be better for me long term, or do I just kind of wing it?
Which one did you choose?
I chose the one that was, well, actually I kind of mixed methods. I picked up the stitches first without, I didn't go, so what Andrea Mowry says in the pattern is to place stitches every so many stitches so that you create little sections, so if you need to stop, you know where you are and you know how many, and so you don't have to count every single stitch. You can count your little sections so long as there's enough
It's very
stitches.
sage advice.
Yeah, it is. It's very good. And everybody was saying, I need to do that, I need to do that, I need to do that. But I didn't want to like have to count the stitches, especially like this is such dark yarn that I was like, I don't want to look at my hem and like place them every 12. I want to just pick up 12 and then place a marker. So that's what I did instead.
Oh.
And it worked out.
I think that's how I would have done it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I think I can speed this up. Let's be more efficient.
Yeah, no, that's definitely how I would have done it.
And it worked out. The math worked perfectly. I mean, that's the thing, when math works, it works.
Good. Excellent. So you should have that done next time as well.
Yep, I'll have it done next time. I'm hoping to finish it because I'm going to London this weekend. I think I'm going to finish it on the train. And then block it. And yeah, you'll see it next time. Because this is the thing, is that I'm using Cumbria worsted in Blackback as my main color. Is there a main color in this?
Yeah.
Yeah, main color, because that. And then the contrast is the Spincycle Salty Dog.
Which we know is Kaylee's favorite.
Yep. And also, like, Cumbria worsted in this Blackback. That's like my absolute favorite color.
It's such a good color.
Cumbria. So, but Cumbria is like this, for people who haven't used it, it's a blend of merino, masem, and mohair. So it's like really soft, really fluffy. It's like not super fluffy, but like it's fluffy, firm. Yeah, it's got bounce. Yeah. And like you might see, like if I hold it up, like when you're doing that slip stitch, it's a little bit like, it's not puckered, but it's like kind of raised a little bit. So once it's blocked, I think it's really gonna bloom quite nicely. And like then it's gonna lay flat and it's gonna be like,
yeah, I think it needs to relax a little bit. I think the yellow is gonna pop.
Yeah, exactly.
As well.
Because I think right now the blue is like a little bit raised, and so it's hiding some of the yellow.
It's dominating a bit.
Yeah. But I'm really excited for it. I've really loved knitting it, and actually, it was super quick.
It was quite
for
quick,
like
for
a
very
sweater
big sweater,
of
really.
this size. We'll like post pictures of me wearing it as well. But it's like quite a big sweater. It uses a lot of yarn. I think it's like 4 skeins of Spincycle and 5 of Cumbria.
Okay.
So
that is a lot of yarn.
A lot of yarn.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that. It might be 3 skeins of Spincycle and 4 of Cumbria.
Okay.
But it's like quite big, so that's why. But I started it the week after Christmas. And then I knit till the start of the cowl, so January 20th, and I actually only had 1 sleeve left.
Oh wow.
And that was
really
me
quick.
trying to finish my PhD at the same time.
Well, you know, we know what takes priority.
Yeah, exactly. I know, my supervisor better not be watching this. She's not an editor.
Good. Like, I don't know why my PhD isn't done yet. I just like started a YouTube channel and
you know who is watching it though is my mom.
Hi. It's not my fault.
Yeah. It's actually her fault for introducing me to knitting, so we'll put it on her.
There you go. Also, I think your mom likes me, so I'm fine. So my second whip is the Spur Hat, which talked about casting on last time, which I have cast on.
Gorgeous.
And I am here. I went with the Spearmint Preseli because that's what I wanted to use.
Yep.
And I think you and I talked about this off camera last time. Sometimes when you ask the knitting universe, like on Instagram, you're like, which of these shall I choose? It helps you solidify which one you actually want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what matters in the end. Like, you can have their own opinions, and like, that's great, but it's up to you and like what you want to wear.
So, it looks like it's closer to done than it is, but because it's a folded brim. So that folds up. So far, the rest of it is not showing. But this is motoring along. I am in this brioche section. So it's very interesting. So that's like a 2x2 rib. And then you do a purl row, so it flips up really easily. And then a 1x1. And now I'm into a brioche. And it will be done by next weekend. Because I'm also going to London and spending time on the train this weekend.
Oh, nice.
So I should have some train knitting time.
London's the place to be.
It is the place to be, apparently. Yeah. And so that should be done.
Awesome.
I
actually really like that you went with the color that you chose.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just having this like spring color vibe.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't want the darker ones right now. I don't know. I think
But
they're
I think
lovely.
like the spearmint is like one of those colors that when you wear it, it's different than just like holding the skein up to you.
Yes. Also, I mean, I had my hair pulled back last time, and I probably won't have my hair pulled back, but like it makes a difference when my blonde is like out. Since we're also on a Haydn Hammer.
Oh my gosh,
kick.
Yes. Is that the sample or is
no,
that
this is the actual. So our collaboration with Haydn Hammer for the Ice Dye Effect bags. She got the fabric and she made me one up like immediately.
Yeah.
So
she's really getting through that though.
She is, because they're making them all just her and Polly. It has, I love this, like she stamps our logo on the handle of all of ours. And I got the 08 this time because I only have one 08, that's the smaller one. And I have like 6 of the 3. So
I thought you would have like 15.
Oh.
So
not quite. There's also something she has in the pipeline that I'm like, I need a bigger.
Always has all the good
ideas. Need a bigger flat just for my Haydn Hammer collection, basically.
You need to like stop having such amazing friends. Is the thing.
That is also really true. Like really, really true.
Yeah.
Awesome and generous friends.
Yes.
Like that pink one was a gift.
Oh.
Yeah.
New's amazing. So.
New is amazing. Do you want? I also happen to have in my bag the neon yellow pouch.
Oh my god! I have never seen this in person.
No.
Because I was in a Unravel. Yes. Oh my gosh! And this is. I thought it was the soft leather.
No, it's the stiff leather.
That's awesome.
Good.
Like that's what you want for a project bag.
Glows.
Sorry, I like completely just ripped it out of your hands.
This is the 03 pocket pouch. We don't sell this one. New has these, and she has some with like a softer leather, and then we've done these neon. Yeah. I mean, you can't even see that because it's just the lights bouncing off it. But it's really clever. It fits into the full pocket on the 03.
But the design is really cool.
It's very clever how she's done this.
Like, it's probably hard to see it on camera, but like maybe from the side you can kind of see that.
It's, like rounded, which means that when you lay it out, it's actually flat.
Yeah.
And straight.
That's cool.
It's very, very clever. It holds quite a lot.
It's so different too.
Mm-hmm. Like I've turned this into.
I mean, I can see why they did so well at Unravel.
Yeah.
Because they are amazing.
Yeah.
In person.
Very, very good. But I've turned this into an everything. I've got like half Notions pouch, half like pen carrier, half washi tape dots.
I need to stop hanging out with Carmen. I'm gonna take all my money.
My fault. It's New's fault.
Yeah.
Okay. And since I have.
Oh my gosh! And you have one of these too.
It's all in my number 10 bag.
Is this a yarn story podcast or is it Haydn Hammer?
I'm probably Haydn Hammer's best customer. Cool. So this is a tie top bag that she does, which I didn't actually intend to use as a knitting bag, but it just sort of happened.
Also, I've never seen one of these in person, and like now I'm like, oh, now that I see it.
I hadn't seen this green before, and again, I was at her. I need to stop going to her work
studio,
basically, because I was like, "What's that green one? I haven't seen the green.
Yeah, it's gorgeous green one. I love that. I want a dress of that fabric.
Yeah, well, it's really lovely. I think it's Merchant and Mills linen.
Is it?
Like, it's really nice. Right. So this is my Cloud 9, which I talked about last time. I haven't worked on this because I think I have to frog it.
Yeah.
I think this is not turning out the way I need it to. I need to frog it because I want to wear this.
Yeah.
So.
And you want a nice summer top.
I do want a nice summer top, and I am freaking in love with this yarn.
Did you find out why you think it went wrong?
I think it's because, so the pattern calls for, you cast on like the ribbing of the neckline, and it's originally for a mohair, but you're supposed to cast on the collar in like a 4-ply merino, like a woolly something, to sort of hold it together. And I thought, here's what I'll do. I'll cast on below the neckline and I'll pick up the stitches. But it's just gotten too wide.
Yeah.
And if I pick that up, it's not going to help, even though I have
so it's just going to be, because you probably want it, is it negative ease you want it?
No, it's positive ease, but this is, I mean, like, that is huge.
That's with the needles on it too.
Well, yeah, but this is just,
But no, I mean, like, so it will be even bigger.
Yeah, it'll be even bigger. Exactly. So, I'm gonna have to rip this back and have a rethink. And the reason the pattern does that, and I actually think it's a good idea for this yarn, even though it's not a mohair, is that wool will give it like a bit of structure. So I think I'm gonna do something color blocked and maybe just pill out, you know, the bright pink and do the neckline in that. So I think I have to start this again. It should be a really fast knit once I'm, you know, properly motoring. But I think I should have the shawl and the hat done for our next episode.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
We need to prioritize.
Yes.
So, well, that segues us onto the nice next topic, which is new arrivals in the shop. We've had a very busy week.
It has been a bumper week. I felt like
this is how it happens, though.
It is how it happens. Like,
because we get inspired by everything, and then we're like, yes, we need this, that, the other thing. We need to refresh. Yeah.
We also did do quite a big spring clean. And then we're like, okay, this is what we're getting in.
Yeah.
Which
you also like really need, which is something I haven't reflected on much, but like how a spring clean actually creates room for inspiration.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we love all the yarns in the shop. Yeah. Always. But
when you all buy all the yarn, we're like, we love that yarn, but now it looks sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, colors start to look sad and then you're not as inspired by it. Yeah.
But they're still beautiful colors. It's just like, it doesn't look as, oh my god.
As it did when we had 12 or 15 or 20 of the shades. Yeah, definitely. So it's nice, for us as the shop too, to just like get a refresh. And it doesn't mean we love any older yarns less. It's just
I think part of it too is like, you know, we bring in different yarns because they're inspiring in that moment, and moments change, but also like designers like, I mean, like dyers change and like they have inspiration coming in and out, and like they're trying something new, and you might not be able to get the older yarn that you had in before, and so then you have to rethink of like, okay, what's the next thing that I bring in then?
Well, and like the pairings that we end up putting together, because, you know, we aren't a shop that's like, oh, you only use the Fibre Company yarns with the Fibre Company, and you only use the Garthenor yarns with the Garthenor
like,
yarns.
Let's mix things.
Let's like just...
We like a big happy family
of
chaos.
Fiber choices, of yarn weights, you know, of colors. Because sometimes the best thing to do is to find colors across brands that work together.
And I think that's the thing, is like, one of the, I don't want to always like go back to Spincycle because loads of brands do this well, but one of the nice things about having Spincycle in the shop is the creativity that it brings to the place.
Absolutely.
Because because Spincycle is what it is, you kind of like are encouraged to pair it with other yarns, and so it gets that thought process going. It's like Isager. Isager is great at doing that too, because like so many of their yarns are like, if you look at like the Spinny, for instance, you might come into the shop and you might be like, yeah, but I don't knit lace weight. Yeah. Like, what am I supposed to do with Spinny? And then it's like, well, no, the Spinny is designed to pair with things.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because I'm not a lace knitter at all. I love Spinny though. I think it creates a fantastic fabric. Yeah. When it's held double. Yep. Or with something else. So we got a lot of Spinny in this week. This is just like 4 of the colors.
Which are amazing. Which is so different than what they've had too. So this is the point again.
Yes.
Brands are creative themselves.
I think this is their oldest, or their second oldest yarn line, and they have a lot of colors in it. Yeah. And I just didn't order all of them in because we have limited space. But when we were at H&H, Susan and I were just like, we have to have more of them. Like, this yarn is amazing. So we have a bunch of new to us colors. So that's 40, 28, 25, and 22 from my left to right. And we're going to do some kits with the Spinny, because there's also some really gorgeous Isager patterns that use several colors over several yarn lines, and I think it's really tricky to like put that together yourself on the website or even the store. So we have plans for some kits to make that easier, because they're gorgeous patterns and I know people want to knit them.
And Isager is one of those ones too where you have to like trust the process. Like, they're gorgeous patterns. Like, so much thought has been put into them. I mean, I feel like Isager, one word I would use to describe them is like romantic, beautiful, like they're inspiring and almost feels to me like connected to nature.
Yes.
In that kind of beautiful, inspiring way.
And also very connected to like the history of knitting and like where the yarn
like that's wool, like wool. And like that's the thing, like for I think many people like first getting into knitting, they want to be like, I don't like rough wool.
Yes.
And they're like, I don't want to knit in wool.
Yeah.
But we all know wool is beautiful.
Wool is amazing.
It's amazing.
But it is absolutely the evolution of a knitter. Like, you see, exactly. I did it myself. Like, I
me
totally
too.
went through this.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen so many customers go through it. You kind of get back into it, and then you're like, soft, soft, soft.
Yeah.
And you fall in love with these, like, hand-painted yarns because you've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And so then you go a bit crazy with, like, speckles and hand-painted and, like, soft, soft, soft. And then at some point you're like, oh, let me learn a bit about fibers and sheep breeds and this, that, and the other. And then suddenly you're wearing super scratchy, rustic sweaters next to your skin because you're like, sheep, wool. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. But also, like, that's where it comes back to, like, the pairings. Like, Isager makes it accessible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they know, like, people have, like, also too, like, people have, like, skin conditions. Like, people can't wear scratchy stuff next to their skin.
Some people are allergic to wool or to alpaca.
Yep.
And they have a lot of choices to make the gauge for their patterns.
Definitely.
And they have just such amazing patterns.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of it's really classic, but with, like, a detail that you're like, oh, it sings. Like that cherry sweater, I think, that you were going to do that just has, like, the little scalloped edge.
I have that.
Like, it's a pretty plain...
Pretty about the wool.
Yeah. You should make that one.
I know. It's been on my queue for, like, over a year.
I think it's time.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. That's what I have planned for this summer to knit. And I'm like, please, God, let me stick to plan, because I need to knit this sweater.
Yeah, because that's one that you fell in love with when we were at H&H last
definitely.
year. Yeah. So we got that Isager, and then the other big one that we got in, so we have, like, a lot of new spinny colors. We got top-ups of silk mohair, and the linen, which is called Hor, which I'm sure I'm not pronouncing correctly. And then we got new to us Eco Soft.
That's cool.
Which is one we debated last year.
Yep.
And then we didn't get, but now we got it.
We went with the Eco Baby last year, which I love. It's so fleshy and
but this one's thicker. I think it's different fiber content too. I don't have.
Is this Aran weight then?
This is Aran weight.
Ah,
it is 56% alpaca and 40% organic cotton.
Cool.
So it gives you fluffy, but not warm, woolly.
Yeah.
So for a fluffy, summery thing, and it's nice and light.
Yeah.
It does only come in the sort of natural shades, so we only have 4 in at the moment, but they only have 6 in total. So like that is E0, and then this is, I think, E7?
I mean, but
E4S.
Y'all have been, like, obsessed with cream/white.
Yeah.
So.
We got the cream mohair, and I think it's gone already. Oh. Like, it came in on Monday, it's gone already.
Yeah.
So, sorry. We'll get some more.
Yeah. Clearly that's, like, this is the thing, y'all, though, is that we'll start, like, ordering double the amount of mohair, and you'll be like, yeah, I'm good.
Nah, I'm alright. I want the bright yellow now.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, I don't know.
So this is why, put in the comments what you want.
Yeah. You could all just write us a list of what you want, and that's what we'll get. That'd be great.
Exactly. We're here for you.
Yes, we are here for you. I mean, a little bit for ourselves.
Yeah. No,
I mean, on the like, what we get in.
We definitely don't get stuff that we don't like.
No, we don't get stuff we don't like.
Which is also too, though, like, there are some things that we don't like, but it's quite rare.
Yeah, I mean, that is...
we like most things.
Like, we could have a shop twice as big with stuff that we are obsessed with quite easily.
Especially when it comes to hand dyers, I'm like, y'all just set up, like, little pop-up shops.
Yeah, there's a couple that Kaylee keeps going, how about them?
How about them? How about them?
Now?
No.
Nope.
Nope. But also, too, like, businesses have only so much they can do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which actually leads us to Urban Purl.
Yes.
Which is the Cloud 9, which is the yarn I'm using for the sample I'm going to start again.
Yeah.
So this arrived this week. This is also, so Layla is a hand dyer in London. She's a one-woman show. She's in like 3 shops total.
She's very talented.
She's super talented, and you know, I'm very excited that she picked us to be the third shop that she's in, because she, you know, that's the thing too. If you're a single hand dyer, you can't just say yes to every shop that inquires. You have to think strategically about like how much time you actually have and
because
what's
you can't
worthwhile.
Overpromise.
No, that doesn't go well for anyone.
Because if you overpromise and underdeliver, quite a bad thing. But if you underpromise and overdeliver, everybody's happy.
Yes. Why is the phone ringing?
I know, at first I was like, are people live streaming and somebody's angry? You know what we just said?
It's 8 o'clock at night here. We're not answering that. Pause. Okay. So we got this Cloud 9 yarn in this week. It is a 70% silk. 70% silk. 30% superfine merino. It is a brushed, I never am sure if it's a brushed or blown yarn. That's where my technical know-how sort of leaves me. It's hand dyed. The Urban Purl is Layla's business name. And we have everything from like gorgeous semi-solids to crazy speckles, like this flamingo on fire here.
I'm like obsessed with the skein that you just handed me.
Black Dahlia. I mean, that's a Carmen pink if I ever saw one. That's amazing. What else did I grab? Gathering Moss. It's just a light gray with like green speckles.
That's one I think too, like, you need to see in person.
Yeah.
That one reminds me actually in a similar way to the Julie Aslin Nurture that we talked about before.
Yes, yeah.
Of like, you kind of keep looking at it and you get a new color.
Yep. And Soho's the other one I brought, which is like I mean, it reads gray from a distance, but it has a lot going on.
I don't think it will knit up like gray either. Like you'll...
Not at all.
Yeah.
So this is now on the shelves. It went in the newsletter today and a lot of it left the shelves already.
But also too, like it reads well on camera, I think, but also when you're in person, you're just like, I have never in my life seen a yarn like this.
No, it is. This is special.
Yeah.
It's very special.
Because like, you know, so I think compare it to the Isager, the baby Eco Soft or whatever it is. Because this is a blown yarn.
Yes,
that's making me think that maybe this is a brushed yarn because they are very different.
They are very different.
Like,
cover our faces. Yeah, there we go.
The texture of them is similar, but is like, this almost looks like
boucle.
Boucle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like a twisty thing going on in the core, which doesn't come out when you knit it, but
yeah, exactly. It's like boucle on the inside, mohair on the outside.
Yeah. And you can see
so it's like boucle on the inside and mohair on the outside. Awesome. What we might call moucle.
Dad joke over from
although it's silk, so now I want to call it souffle. Like souffle.
I mean, so if you can see my stitches there, that's
pretty cool.
Yeah. You don't see that boucle, souffle, whatever it is. It's I don't know. This yarn just feels really special. I've not seen anything quite like it.
And I think that's quite important. You've seen quite a lot of yarn in your life.
One might call me an expert in yarn.
Yeah, they might.
They might. The colors are stunning. Like, she's such a good dyer.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about earlier, like, she has a point of view. You know, it's very, like, this is her. There's not yarn that looks, it's not really to be mistaken with a lot of other stuff. And that's really, really lovely to see. And this is so soft. Like, it's just...
It is. It's amazing. I mean, remember when I first saw it? I was at yours.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I think I, like, had just walked in the door, and I saw the skein sitting over in the corner, and I was like, what's this?
And she grabbed it, and I was like, well, that was a present for you. Actually, I didn't hide it very well. Yeah. But I didn't expect you to notice.
But I, like, come in, drop my bag. What's that over there? What's that?
Well, that's basically what I did at the booth at Unravel too. I was like, oh, hey Layla, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, what is that right there? Talk to me about that. And New came over of Haydn Hammer like 5 seconds later and also was like, I was like, look at this. She goes, what is that? And she immediately bought like a sweater quantity. I was like, I want to swatch with this. But yeah.
You're on a research trip.
Research trip. I'm always on a research trip, let's be honest. So this is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to see all the other colors, it's obviously on the website.
It is on the website. Yarnstory.co.uk.
Amazing photos.
Yes, great photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got one more delivery this week.
Yeah. Which is what some might call a classic AYS Live unboxing.
Yes. I did unbox all of these on Instagram, so if you go to our Instagram channel, is that a channel? I don't know. You can watch all of the colors unfold on camera.
Yeah, they were quite good lives. Very classic.
Yeah.
I watched them each time Carmen did it. It was luckily when I was coming home from work. And I was like, ooh, train bid.
Yes, but we did have a classic with the Spincycle.
So, what actually came is the thing. Because I wasn't...
You weren't
here.
I
watched it though. This came.
That came. So we got a couple of brand new colors. And we got top-ups of other things.
Yeah.
I talked about this a bit in the newsletter today. So, Spincycle is one of those yarns where the two most popular questions we get are you getting that yarn back in? And when are you getting it back in stock, that colorway? And the answers to those two questions are always, yes, we have it on order. No, I have no idea when it's coming. Because of the way they manufacture, I place like sort of a big order for, I don't know, 4 months ahead of time, at least. And then as they produce, so that they can produce efficiently because of how they do things, they will do like a run of a color at a time.
And they know what their LYSs want.
Yeah, they know what their LYSs want. So then they distribute those colors sort of in batches as they come off the production line. And especially us as like an international customer, they come in like a very specific size box because of import-export. So it's always on order. I have zero idea. No one in the team ever has any idea when it's coming, which makes it like a really fun surprise for all of us. Because I also just freaking forget what I ordered, what's come already. But we will always get everything back in at some point.
But as you've heard us, maybe, although I'm not sure if we talked about it before.
We have on occasion, but you know, let's remind the people out there.
Because Spincycle has the process that they have and the dye method that they have, every single skein is absolutely unique. So I will like show you two skeins and they are the exact same colorway from two different batches that we've gotten.
And that color is Vibe Check.
Vibe Check. But very different.
Very, very different. Equally beautiful.
Equally beautiful, depending on what you want. Luckily, Spincycle does an amazing job photographing them. So they have loads of photos of like different ways that the yarn might look. And we now on our website have the image that they produce, which shows you kind of like a pyramid of all the different colors that could kind of be.
Yes.
And so you could get a better idea. So like if you're ordering from us and you see in that picture like a particular like vibe you want, then you could be like, do you have one like that? And we're always happy to send photos.
Always put in the notes like that you're looking for, I don't know, like a more pink skein or a more orange skein or like whatever the colorway that leans. We don't always have it, but we can try. And the thing is, like, you see, so you can see these like purples. Oh, come on. So these purples are visible in this skein. They're just less. It has more of the yellow. So you can see how they're the same color. It's just which ones dominate
which skein.
And
also too, like, the thing that you have to remember that with Spincycle,
over here too.
It actually cakes up very differently.
Yes.
So luckily I have a ball.
This
caked
is
up.
Sunset Strip. So good.
So what I always tell customers is like, the colors you see, think of that as like a slow fade between them.
Yeah.
Because what it looks like in the skein is like a variegated yarn, right?
Yeah, it kind of like, and I also get when people first see it, they've never seen it, it looks a little messy.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's chaos.
Yeah. But like, so
color chaos.
This is an example of how it cakes up.
That's so good.
And in the skein, it looks completely different. Also, too, you will not be able to find the skein anywhere because I took it and it's mine and it was very unique. But this was Ghost Ranch.
Ghost Ranch. We got some more Ghost Ranch in. I didn't pull any of that. But, so we got a whole top up. So Big Sky was like one of the new big colors. And this too, like these both came in this batch. That is Big Sky. The bottom one has a lot more pink. The top one reads quite green. Which is fun too, because you can then pair them with other things.
Definitely. You can pair them with each other.
We can pair them with each other. And then we did get Dream State in. This one, I should give you this. This is
this one's cool. Color. When Carmen showed this on the unboxing, I was like, I need to come to the shop now and get it. And then I was like, oh crap. I need to buy more. Don't tell Sam. Nah, he's fine. But this is so cool. And also, it is so different from the last one that we had.
Yeah, that's Close Call.
This is Close Call. And when I first started working here, we had Close Call in Dream State. And it was like more like yellow, black, white. Like very solid.
Like, yeah, and very high contrast.
Yes, very high contrast. Where this one, like, I love these skeins.
They're great.
Shades of Earth looks like this a lot of the time. Not like this, it's completely different colors.
No.
But that kind of mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes those skeins like a really good bridge color.
Yes. What's a bridge color?
I made Aleks define this.
Yes, I know.
It's basically a color that like merges two other colors. So it like is the go-between. It bridges them.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide which one to take home with me. I think I'm gonna go with this one. It's like
the
obviously.
Yellow. Yeah, and the orange.
And the orange.
So this is why we just find the Spincycle really fun.
Yeah.
And the whole team does.
Definitely.
It's fun to unbox. It's fun to
think
work
about.
with. It's also, it's really nice yarn. It's 100% American wool. It's bouncy and lovely to knit with. Soft. And so it's not just the colors. It's actually really lovely wool.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I was wearing a jumper at work today that was, it was the Easy Bee, which I use Garthenor beacons and Dream State with. And I basically was on this like all-day training course, and I was like just looking at my sweater being like, ooh, that's pretty colors.
See, your knitting can entertain you during boring work meetings and trainings.
Exactly. But I was just like fascinated by the colors in the Spincycle, so it keeps going.
It does. It doesn't just stop entertaining you when you've knitted up. It's special yarn, that's for sure. I feel that's another one I feel very lucky to have. And because that's also
they're an amazing company too. Like,
you know, this Kate and Rachel are really lovely individuals. They care a lot about what they do. They care a lot about their team. Yeah, they're very talented, both artists and business people, and have a lot of respect for them.
Because also too, like one of the things that I really respect in what they do, and it's something that you do as well, is they put the price of their yarn not just on, you know, what it's worth in the sense of commercially, right? But in what it's worth artistically, as well as what it's worth for the people involved. And they value the people so much. Yeah. And that's something that you do really well in your shop.
I'm gonna blush now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they just had a price increase actually as well, and you know, they you know, they have a 401k for their team, which in America that's like a retirement plan, and healthcare, and you know, they care about their employees, and they're running it like a big old business, not just thinking about all the things, which is cool.
Yeah. Very they're doing all the things right, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's it for us. This week. I think you've looked at our faces long enough.
Yeah. Thanks for joining.
And like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
See you next time.
Bye.